But this is terrible. Where did the cat thing come from? I have far more questions than answers at this point. Hi, I'm Lauren. I am the senior content writer here at Blank Theory, and today I'm going to be road testing some of the AI tools that exist to assist you in your copywriting. So I'm going to put them through their paces and find out whether or not my job could be in jeopardy or not. Shall I start with ChatGPT? Start with the OG. We've got a couple of different prompts here that I'm going to use to put it through its paces. I'm going to start with one where I want it to use a professional tone of voice. I want it to be informative. I want to see how well it can replicate a human being that is actually an expert in a very specific area. I think I'm going to give it this one, which is about using a professional, informative tone of voice, write a short blog about how Afterpay can impact your credit score. So we have quite a few different financial clients here at Blank Theory, which means I actually know the answer to this. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not ChatGPT is right. That's the other thing. So I've had a read. It is quite a short blog. So as far as creating value for your website, sometimes long form is actually better, and it will depend. You'll want to run data on your website to find out what kind of dwell time you tend to get on your website as to how long people tend to like to stay and read. Most of the information is fairly accurate. It is not entirely accurate though. For example, when it says, crucial to note that Afterpay transactions are not completely isolated from crediting report agencies, Afterpay reserves the right to report late payments, defaulted credits to credit bureaus, which can negatively affect your credit score. On Afterpay's website, it actually says that they will never do that, and that it is a key part of that product that they don't do that. So while ChatGPT did come up with a really standard blog quite quickly, it actually won't replace your ability to proofread, and it won't replace a human being's ability to research. I'd also point out as well, the structure is not very good. So it goes straight into the blog without introducing why you might want to understand the impact of Afterpay on your credit score. It also doesn't explain what a credit score is. And in most writing circles, we tend to talk about that as the so what. So when you're writing, it's not enough to just have a sentence and say, Afterpay has gained widespread popularity. Okay, so what? Now what do we want to talk about? Is there a reason why that's important? Why are people doing it? What's the benefit of that? How is it helping people? Why do you need to know about your credit score? Is it possible that you're about to buy a house and that's why you're looking into it? Look, you can tell it's written by a robot. It's missing the so what, and it's missing the personality. But as far as professional writing goes, it's definitely in the right tone of voice. If I had to give this a grade, I'd probably give it a C+. It's a pass, and it's an okay pass, but you're not going to want to bring it home to mum and dad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a prompt to this one the way that I would normally do with any kind of AI tool, is to use a clever promotional tone of voice, write a witty social media caption promoting a Black Friday sale for a cosmetic store called Schmecker. Schmecker's Black Friday sale is so good you'd be blushing from ear to ear. Get ready to pounce on our awesome deals. This is terrible. We're talking discounts so fierce they'll make even the most jaded shopper purr with delight. From eyeshadow palettes that are the main, spelled M-A-N-E, attraction, to lipsticks that will have you feline fun. Where did the cat thing come from? I have far more questions than answers at this point. Is the linking that women like cats? Because not all women like cats. I like cats, but wow. It's tried to be witty and clever, by which what it's actually doing is puns. And I love a good pun, but there is such a thing as too many puns. And I think we've reached too many puns. Even the opening caption of it, the headline, Schmecker's Black Friday sale is so good you'll be blushing from ear to ear, I suspect that will actually be too long even for the fold, by which I mean you normally only have about 125 characters in a social media caption before you hit the read more or see more section on it. And normally when you're writing a social media caption, your aim should be to get the bulk of your message in those first 125 characters. I feel like using blushin' with an apostrophe is kind of like the grammatical equivalent of writing all in caps. If I had to give this a grade, I'd give it an F. Or maybe that's not fair. Maybe a D- because it is in English and I asked for that, kind of. Let's take this same prompt and see what ChatGPT would do with the original prompt. See, this is much better. Unleash your glam game this Black Friday with Schmecker's Extravaganza. Dive into a world of dazzling deals and slay the savings game like never before. Grab your beauty squad because flawless looks are calling and so are the discounts. That is so much better. And that was instant. We didn't have to wait around. There's no cats. And the theme that it's chosen to go with, would you believe, is beauty, which makes a lot of sense for this one. I like the fact that it knows enough to know that there are words like slay, beauty squad, glam that are all commonly used on social media in this space. And frankly, I could see Mecca using the prompt that ChatGPT has come up with. Oh, sorry, I should say Schmecker. Let me revise ChatGPT's score to a B, because now I'm comparing to a much worse AI tool and I should be kinder to ChatGPT. Let's go for something a little bit more specific in the content world game, and that's category content. When you're on a website and you're scrolling through products and you get to the very bottom of the e-commerce page, sometimes you'll see a great big chunk of text that's explaining to you information about the product. Now, this text is important not because we think that people are going to spend a long time reading it, but because it is filled with SEO keywords. And SEO keywords are essentially the way that search engines find pages and make sure that they're relevant to your search terms. So let's have a look at Semrush and see how they go with this. If any AI was going to be able to do category content, it would be this one. Creativity, let's go regular. So category name, let's go car parts. Keyword, Ford Ranger headlamp replacement. First thing that I'm noticing is that unlike the previous AI we've looked at, it's immediately come up with 4 options and we have the opportunity to actually tell it how many options we want. I think that more AI should have that functionality so that you can compare them. I know that ChatGPT does do that, but you tend to have to regenerate and regenerate and regenerate, whereas this has just done it from jump, which is really good. First impressions are pretty good. It has done a really good job of taking the business description and expanding it. I particularly like this third one here. At Jefferson Ford Parts, we understand the importance of keeping your car in top condition. That's why we offer a range of genuine Ford replacement parts for all makes and models, including the popular Ford Ranger. Trust Jefferson Ford Parts for all your car maintenance needs. But one thing I will say is that when you're writing category content, usually it's important that you keep the key parts of the keyword as close together as you can. And in most of these examples, except for the second one, it's split the keywords into separate sentences, or it's cut the keywords and put them in different orders. And that's not usually best practice. And it's not normally what a copywriter will do, just to make sure they're getting the best possible outcome for the SEO. I'd also say this is incredibly short. When you use a content writer or a copywriter to write they will normally write around 500 to 800 words. Honestly, quite good. It is too short and there are big drawbacks to it. Personally, I wouldn't use it, but if you didn't have a copywriter on your team, this would be a good place to start and give you the jumping off point that you need. Solid B+. It's almost an A, but not quite. I'd be tempted to find out whether or not a different tool that Semrush has is any better. Let's give it a better chance. Let's give it a Schmecker. Let's do a category page. We're going to call it Schmecker by Beauty Online. Let's ask for 6 examples. This is a much better outcome for a meta description than for category content. It has done a really good job of putting in the keywords we've asked for in the first one. It did it much faster than it did for category content too. And it appears to all be the right length, which is great. As long as you are able to double check its work, I would give this an A for meta descriptions. Leave category content in the bin. Leave that for somebody else to worry about. But this tool, A+. There are so many tools out there at the moment, so much on offer. It's on you to decide which tool is the right one for the content you're writing. It seems to me that ChatGPT is great for your longer form writing and it's great for some of your more creative writing. If you need a social media caption, great place to go. Seems to me that Bard is great for your current information, the most up-to-date info. I wouldn't use it for creative writing because it's obsessed with cats. And if you're writing something with SEO in mind, in particular something to do with keywords like meta descriptions, I would definitely turn to Semrush. Semrush also has an AI option where you can write your own content and put it through its smart word checker. And what that does is it will tell you whether or not it's readable and whether or not it has enough keywords in it. So you can also use AI in the reverse. You write it yourself and AI checks it, and that's where Semrush comes into its own. But fundamentally, for all AI tools, when it comes to content writing, nothing can really replace a copywriter. So far, we haven't yet found something that is as good as an actual copywriter, but it can be a really great place to start. It can help cut out a lot of your planning time, a lot of your research time, and it can give you the foundations you need to write something really good. Consider it a shortcut to writing good content, but don't rely on it for everything. If you want to learn anything more about copywriting or how a content writer can help you achieve your business goals, contact Blank Theory. We have a whole team of content writers here that are much better than Bard. Much better.
Yeah, we talk about dogs.
Yeah, we talk about dogs, not cats.